And if this is it, then that would be what the problem is, and then therefore a solution, right? This is how easy it is to fix this, right? And we'll make sure David gets it. So this is a check valve. So with this check valve, what it's doing is there's an arrow pointing this direction. The check valve is allowing the air to go this way, but it will not allow the air to bypass, come backwards. So a lot of these, we either have a mark on there or there's a sticker pointing. We've since pulled a lot of that off because you have the ability to just simply reverse the parts and you can change the flow of the check valve. They are reversible, right? So to split it apart, usually it's like a rag on a paintball gun. Usually a gentle tap is going to break it apart, right? So you get your two big adjustables on that silver, and you can kind of see that separation right there, and a little snap is going to get that apart for you.
I wasn't ready for that.
Huh?
I wasn't ready for that.
I didn't think it'd break apart quite so easy. So there's a spring, a pin, and an O-ring in here. The important thing about it is when you take it apart, you need to be kind of careful so you know which direction the pieces all went in. So when we're looking at this, and simply open this one up, you can tell if I'm pushing on that, air is going to open it up and allow air to pass. So that means air is flowing in this direction. So the way that this thing would look would simply be this. So air comes through, it pushes and it's allowed to go that way. When air comes in the reverse direction, it floods that in and seals that up with that O-ring and that pin, right? So if air is going in the reverse direction it's supposed to, this O-ring here is going to be the issue, right? So on a compressor, sometimes that back pressure, so it could only be on the high side of pressure. It might not happen when it's low, but on the high side, the higher pressure is venting backwards into a chamber it's not supposed to be, and it would be that O-ring, right? So you just kind of pull that off and change that out. It just rolls right off. So
You said I can tell what's happening by the venting that's going on?
most likely with these things, one of two things is going to happen with a check valve. The way the check valve works is it doesn't allow air to go one direction. It only allows air to go one direction, not both directions. So it would fail when air is not going either in the direction it's supposed to, or air is going in the direction it's not supposed to. So this O-ring right there could possibly be cracked or broke or whatever. Sometimes also what happens that we don't really think about is a piece of trash gets hung up on that O-ring. And for some reason that's not passing through, it's just stuck there. So when it's compressing, that piece of trash in the way is allowing the air to go through. Most likely when the trash gets there, it's going to cause the O-ring to crack because now it's letting the air bypass through it. And then the other thing would be this O-ring right here, if it was cut. I've seen this O-ring cut there more than anything else. So like literally to fix this, it's those two O-rings right there. It's nothing else. There's nothing else to go wrong. So when you put it back in, just kind of think through which way is air going to flow. So if, let's just say for some reason I took it apart and I wasn't sure which way, right? So if I put it in here like this and I dropped it down into there, oh goodness. So what I would have is air would now be sealed up that direction, this way, and then air would be able to open up and come from the reverse, right? So this air, we want air to go that way. So we're going to put it back in the way it was. Spring on there. It's real important that you make sure that that O-ring right there is resting in its groove. So when you put it together.
Do you generally lube those as well?
A little bit of grease is fine. We don't do oil.
Yeah.
And then that's it. That should fix, this is a check valve. That should fix your check valve for you.